Well, welcome to day 14, an emergency day 14 at that, as we are now live. I know it's been a little while since I've actually came on here and done one of these, but this one's very much important. The Calgary Flames have traded Rasmus Andersson to the Vegas Golden Knights for a conditional first-round pick and two defensive prospect Abram Wiebe, I think I mispronounced his name, and top 20 defenseman Zach Whitecloud. Andersson was third on the Flames this year, 30 points, 10 goals, 20 assists, 48 games this season. The 29-year-old defenseman led the team with ice time, 24 minutes, 14 seconds on ice. Rasmus Andersson, his final season of a 6-year contract, was selected by Calgary in 2015 at the number 53 spot. And in January, was named for the Team Sweden roster. What the fuck? There's no light way to say this. What the fuck just happened? And obviously my lighting is shit. Give me 1 second here. Let me just go like that, see if that helps. Might not. I don't think. Maybe. Nope. I guess, yeah, we're just going to have to deal with how we normally do this. Oh, maybe it helped a little bit. Let me go turn this one off. This one's the one that I think gives us the most problems. Oh, now you just can't see me at all. Wow. Yeah, we really got to redo the lighting. I'm sorry. But I am shock and awe right now. I mean, Rasmus Andersson to the Golden Knights. There's no room for error right here now, right? You know, Vegas trades away a strong defenseman for us, at least, that helps us a lot. And I feel like the trade here just doesn't give us anything. It doesn't help us in any way. While he might be a good guy to have, I don't think I don't think this is going to be something that helps us in the the long run here, depending on how this goes. Zach Whitecloud's done nothing but good things for us. With some other trades happening, like the Blackhawks acquiring Ellis and them, and Danault and stuff like that, and Shinnecock being traded, all them. There's been some trades around here, especially Danault to the Canadiens, and Hughes traded to the Wild. But I really do think that this trade right here, is going to be something that Vegas needs to watch out for, especially in the long run with him. And then this season, Zach Whitecloud, 47 games, 2 goals, 7 points for us, 5 assists, -8. He's played a career game of 368 games, 23 goals, 55 assists, 78 points. He's plus 42. He had a goal. He had an assist versus Nashville, last night. But I mean, he's played since 2017 with the Golden Knights. He's played all of his career with them, and now he's being traded to, the Calgary Flames. And, the Calgary Flames don't have much, with the things for him. But, he's been a part of the Vegas Golden Knights organization for a while. First playing, in the AHL with Chicago Wolves, played 74 games with them in 2018, 2019, 6 goals, 22 assists, Played for him again, 35 games, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. He was a -9 that year. He's been to Team Canada. He's won a Stanley Cup with Vegas. I don't think that getting rid of a defenseman in his caliber is something that Vegas should have done. And right now, while he's not been, producing as many points as they probably have wanting him to have, and yeah, maybe his career numbers don't look the greatest, but I mean, he's averaging almost 20 minutes of time on ice, but he's putting up, some good defense for us. And to trade somebody like him away, how detrimental is this going to be to us, now versus when we get somebody like, he's looking at this now, and right now he's still not, the trade still hasn't really gone through on any levels yet, but with Rasmus Andersson coming in, and while I really haven't taken a look at Rasmus Andersson, and I probably should, let's see what he's a defenseman, right? This year, 10 goals, 20 assists, 30 points. He's a +3 on the year. Last time he recorded a goal was January 13th versus Columbus Blue Jackets. Last night, he had an assist versus the New York Islanders. He's played his entire career with Calgary, starting from 2016 to now. See if he's played anywhere else. Barrie in the OHL. He played with the Stockton Heat, 2016 to 2017. 54 games, 3 goals, 19 assists for 22 points. He played for Team Sweden. In the Olympics, he'll play this year again. He played last year at the Four Nations Face-Off. I don't know how much this is gonna really affect Vegas having somebody with him now here, and he's 29 years old, 53rd overall pick in 2015 by Calgary. 6'1", 202. Career numbers wise, he looks a little bit better than Zach Whitecloud, but obviously Zach has been with the team a while, and it kind of sucks to see somebody like Zach go. Zach has been somebody that's helped out this team and been the hero in some cases sometimes. So to give away a defenseman like Zach Whitecloud is, what are we doing? What do we do now? Is I guess like the really big question is, what do we do now? We're missing Zach Whitecloud, and we're missing a key, crucial part of our defensive lining. I don't know what I don't know what our lining is going to look like from now. From now and from going on. Maybe they do something else. Maybe something else will happen. If I go back and look, last night's pairings and stuff like that. I definitely think that there's going to be some new changes with how things are done now, and lineups and projected. That was a 2:04 today. I don't think they play today. Let's see who's playing tonight. I'm trying to see if they're playing or anything. Avalanche, no. This is just a trade that it's like, what are we doing? And to really just put this into perspective, Zach Whitecloud's been with the team almost about the same amount of time as, actually probably a little bit less than Rasmus Andersson, but how is this lineup going to work with the Golden Knights missing a crucial part of their defensive bearings? Projected lineup, starting goalies for today. Want. It's not what I want, but trying to find the lineup here. Can't spell. Welcome to late night podcasting where I can't spell. I'm looking for yesterday's lineups and combination defensive pairings, but I can't seem to find them here. Let me go look. I might still have it up on my phone from a couple days ago. Let me just go like this. Trying to find the lineups and defensive pairings that I saw, but can't seem to find them. But from what I've heard is he's been like a starter for them, and so Golden Knights line combinations. So, defensive pairings recently have been Lauzon, Shea Theodore, Noah Hanifin. Now it'll be Rasmus Anderson, in place of what was to be Zach Whitecloud. Last 10 game stats. They moved quick into getting him in there, but now the line combinations, starters are projected to be Barbashev, Eichel, Stone, with Lauzon and Theodore, and kind of goalies being whoever they want to put up over goalie, either Hill or Schmid. Pietrangelo obviously is on IR with kind of the retirement. Saad's on IR, Carlson IR, Hart on IR, and McNabb's out. I'm not sure what the whole deal with Braden McNabb is. McNabb week to week with an upper body. That's just it's just weird. And looking back here, let me go figure out what they're gonna do here with the Flames. So now we go back here. We look at now it's going to be Zary, Kadri, Dryden, Ball, Uyghur, and who's the goalies here? Dustin Wolf and Devin Cooley. Obviously, they've got Foss, Vissel, Bean, Hanzek, Beecher, and Coleman out. all of which are on the injured reserve. Zach Whitecloud now being added on to the second line defensive pairing. They've not yet assigned him a number. But he's a good defenseman, and obviously he's kind of peaked throughout the years, but now, this year, kind of a rough start for him. It's definitely weird now. I've watched Zach Whitecloud since his days with the Chicago Wolves, and now to see him kind of being traded around, it's like, what the hell are we doing? He's a good defenseman, but well, we'll see how this works with Anderson being in the lineup now. Whether or not they choose to bump Theodore down or Lauzon down and try and put these two up there or whatnot, but I think trying to see where they're fitting him in here. Power play line 2 with Smith, Barbashev, Bowman, Theodore, Anderson. He's on penalty kill line with Sissons, Smith, Hanifin, Anderson. And obviously Kira Schmidt's been pretty good. Aiden Hill finally returning to the lineup after being out with that upper body injury or whatever it was. I think it was his leg that actually was bothering him. But it never fails to amaze me the things teams will do. The things that teams will do to get different players, and now I'm sad that Zach's gone, but we've got a different chance here now with Rasmus Anderson, I think. And while I'm not exactly the happiest person about it, I do want to see what they'll maybe start happening a little more. I know we've been dropping tight games, and I don't like the fact that we're dropping these tight games. And Vegas has been a little bit iffy in overtime. I feel like their overtime area has been not the best. But we've got a different chance here to get some new guys in, and we can see how everything decides to play out from now on. Whether or not we start putting people in different places. I know Cassidy likes to throw the lines in the blender a little bit, but the other thing to keep an eye on is how is Whitecloud going to do in Calgary. He's got friends in Calgary for sure. He's got Braden Pahal, who I don't think is really playing right now. Let me see. Where's their defensive pairings? He's even playing. I don't even think he is. No, he's not. Looking for Braden Pahal, who I don't see playing. Let me take a quick look here. He's got friends there, like Braden Pahal and all them. He would have had Anthony Mantha, but Anthony Manta's been long gone now. Let me see, where is he at? Nick Cousins. Oh, I forgot that happened. Trying to see where Braden Pahal is at. I think he's actually got sent down. If anybody in the chat knows where Braden Pahal is currently at, let me know. It says he's with the Calgary Flames. Yeah, let's see. Currently, yeah, he's with the Flames. It sounds like he's probably down right now in the AHL. Anybody able to find whether or not he's down in the NHL or not? Anybody? Somebody does find out whether or not he's in the AHL or in the NHL. Feel free to put it in chat. Read it eventually. In other news, right? We've seen a lot of NHL trading recently. Another big one to highlight that I felt like was definitely a shocker. Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes from the Canucks to the Wild for Marco Rossi and Ogren. Or what was it? Vancouver Canucks forwards Marco Rossi and Liam Ogren for Zeev. I can't fucking pronounce his last name. And a first-round pick for 26. Obviously, everybody heard about the Tristan Jarry trade for Skinner and Kulak. That was definitely another big one. Kind of surprised he was traded, but also kind of not. There's been some things with him recently where he's not been doing the greatest. Say anybody else that's been a big one other than Keandre Miller being traded from the Rangers to the Hurricanes in July. But I mean, there's been some big trades. They're calling the Hughes deal a blockbuster deal. Quinn Hughes for Zeev Bunim and a first-round pick in 26 for Marco Rossi and Liam Ogren. I don't even think I've ever seen Ogren really play. Has he? And he's played 35 games this season. He's okay. I'm also just very critical of certain things when it comes to certain stats that I look at. Sometimes I get a little too critical of these guys. See, this kid has not recorded a point in the last 5 games. Let's see. Last time he recorded a point, or at least, the last time he recorded a point was in January 6th versus Buffalo. He had a goal. It seems like this kid only shows up every 5 or so games, so he's due for a point. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so he's due for a point. It's been about 7 games since he scored, so he's due for a point here. Is it going to probably come? Probably not. I haven't watched many Vancouver games recently, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me on this Emergency Day 14, and I'll see you guys next time. Hello.